I think if I see another FGC bro with their teeth on the mic condescend to me about how losing is learning and you gotta learn to lose, kid, I might actually have an aneurysm. The advice I'm going to give you isn't so easy to hear, but it's going to be truthful. I'm not going to have rich sound bites like losing is learning in this video. Actually, I'm about to argue against that. Ooh, I'm going to get crucified for this take. Sure, it sounds good. Losing is learning. It's punchy, it's alliterative, but that doesn't make it true. Losing is learning contains a supposition, that is, an assumption, which is winning isn't learning. And I got a big problem with that. Now, a lot of folks will try to course correct here. Oh no, Cookie, it's only when winning is easy that it isn't learning. You misunderstand. But that's wrong too. Also, I have no idea why I wanted to do that in a parody of a French accent. I watched too much 80s propaganda growing up. I'm really sorry. You can and should learn from every game you play. Very much so, including easy wins. Because counter to what you've heard, when you're winning and it's easy, that means you've successfully targeted a large weakness in your opponent's play. They might have multiple, but looking for weaknesses and exploiting them effectively is what you should be doing in every match. You should always play the person opposite you. That sounds so stupid and obvious, but a lot of online advice revolves around trying to position all fights as if they are against a mythically high-level opponent. And that road leads to frustration, when your actual opponent knocks over the pieces and pisses on the board. Your tick throws won't work against the player who doesn't know that jumping is sometimes dangerous.
And the thing is as well, like this guy is mashing DP for his life in between everything. So he's trying to just play properly. He's trying to play properly against this guy, and it's not the way to go.
Look, and he could lose. He could actually lose.
The road to advanced play in fighting games is not to pretend every opponent is high level. Nor should you treat them all as if they play exactly the same. The truth is simple. Play the opponent you actually have. If your opponent never blocks low, go for the leg. Sweep your way to victory. It's an easy win, yes, and that's your reward. You won by correctly identifying that they were weak to lows. That was the right thing to do in that specific fight. It would be a mistake to always sweep all the time in every fight. Sweeping isn't a universal way to win. You have to play against your actual opponent. Some are weak to highs, some are weak to lows, some are weak to throws. Your job is to figure that out. Losing is the punishment for not adapting, for not learning or exploiting your opponent's weaknesses. If your opponent is a friend or someone you spar with regularly and they keep losing to the same strategy, teach them to fight against you with your words, outside of the game. Give them advice. And on that point, losing is supposed to make you feel bad. Pretending that it doesn't will not help you. Caring about how losing makes you look or your win-to-loss ratio will actively harm you. The question you have to ask and really answer is, why do you react aggressively when you feel negative emotions? Finding the answer to that question and learning how to regulate your emotions is so much more important to the competitive mindset than X rules for winning. That's what's wrong with a lot of these self-help-like listicle videos. They come from the perspective that by adding rules to how you play, by not mashing or avoiding strong strategies, avoiding quote-unquote spamming, you will somehow be able to win more, and that will somehow make you better at losing? How? How does changing the way you play towards some weird honor code bullshit make you more likely to accept a loss? It doesn't, because videos teaching you how to get better at losing seem to always end up trying to teach you how to win and avoid feeling the loss instead. And that sucks. Winning doesn't mean you're competitive, and it doesn't mitigate how losing feels. The greater point I'm trying to make is that constraining yourself on what you think is the correct way to play creates a ceiling on your growth and doesn't help with losing. There is no right way to play these games. I'm not trying to say that there aren't wrong ways. It's plainly obvious to repeat things and have them never work is wrong. Like, if your opponent regularly blocks low and you keep going for a sweep as your first option, that's obviously wrong. Don't stop entirely, but use it a lot more sparingly. The aim of competitive play is to build a framework for your character that lets you test the edges of your opponent's defense without too much risk, which is not the same as trying to win. It's trying to solve your opponent's defense. Exploiting those holes leads to wins, but the goal is the deconstruction. To reiterate, winning isn't the goal. Winning is a side effect. The goal is to find their weakness and abuse it. When they surprise you, and they will, they should, that's actually a good thing. That's adaptation. That's making the problem harder. Trying to win at all costs isn't the same as having a competitive mindset, and you can't force a competitive mindset onto trying to win by learning from loss or loving losing. That's taking a core part of being a good player, results agnosticism, and twisting it, turning it into a proverb, a saying that is simple but misleading, meaningless. Look at the situations where you say you gotta learn to lose. It's usually when someone is upset about having lost a match they felt they could win, or someone who has lost and doesn't know how to regulate their emotions around failure. Does giving shallow advice help? No. Why would it? And on that point, why would teaching those players fatalism, to accept loss as a default outcome, why would that help either? You know what does help? Yeah, I've been there. Relate. Oh, that sucks. The character's really strong. Acknowledge. How did you lose? Problem solve. You're not automatons. You have feelings. Learn to regulate them as a first and most important step toward being a better player, a better person. I'm there. I struggle. What's making me a better player and a better person is acknowledging that this is hard for me. I'm not hiding it. To pretend I'm always winning and I don't struggle, that some matches matter to me more than others, or to say that I don't get bothered by someone teabagging me would be a lie. The point of this video is not to make me seem holier than thou. Getting salty is fine. It's part and parcel of being a competitive player, because we care about playing our best, and that's good. When you can regulate and quickly shift from, I think I'm dying from how much it hurts to lose, to, damn, they had to play on the top of their game to beat me. That helps. Don't minimize. If someone isn't trying to beat you and they can do it without thought, that'll hurt, but it's also an opportunity to ask questions after you calm down. Loving losing isn't the way. Learn to lose isn't the way. Acknowledging your humanity, your feelings and emotions, regulating those after losses, and learning to love playing, not winning. That is how you improve, and that's how you end up getting the most out of this hobby. After each match you lose, take a second, feel the loss, move past it, tell your opponent good shit, good game, well played, thanks for playing me, and be the better player you know you can be.